Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of ARA, Anxiety Recovery with Albright. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Medin Albright and I use my own recovery from severe sensitization, severe anxiety, chronic depression to help others who are still struggling. So if you're struggling with the generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety, panic attacks, panic disorder, eating disorders, agoraphobia, OCD, any type of anxiety disorder, you're in the right place. In this channel, we discuss how anxiety works, how the body and mind works, why you're having these symptoms, what you need to do to get out of the anxiety cycle, what you need to do to stop having those anxiety symptoms. So if you're watching this video, in this particular video, I want to talk about a very common symptom of anxiety. I had it, with anxiety, sometimes there are symptoms that you have 24/7 and there are symptoms that you have, they can appear randomly, they are not as frequent. So in this particular video, I want to talk about that symptom that for me was 24/7. I didn't have a break from this symptom. And what you want to talk about in this particular video is nausea. If you're struggling with emetophobia, it's called emetophobia. Emetophobia is the fear of throwing up. It's called nausea. So if you're struggling with nausea, make sure to watch this video to the end. If you have not subscribed to this channel, can you kindly hit that subscription button? The only thing there is that when I post a new video, when I am live, you'll be able to get notified. Subscription is free. No one will ask you for any money, so kindly hit that subscription button. Otherwise, let's get started. In one of my videos, I don't know if I should insert that video here. That video is about loss of weight, how I struggled with loss of weight when I was struggling with anxiety. I share how, I was thin. I lost 30 kg from anxiety. I was losing weight. I did not understand why I was losing weight. But when I understood that anxiety can cause loss of weight, I finally understood what was happening and I finally regained all that weight that I lost. Apart from the excess adrenaline using up the already resources that I already had, which was making me to lose weight, apart from the mental energy, this energy here, if you use it, you're always overthinking, you're always analyzing, your brain is always busy, you might lose tremendous weight because of anxiety. So apart from those two reasons, the third reason why I lost weight is because of nausea. I had the fear of throwing up. It was one of the reasons why I even could, with anxiety, sometimes you can struggle with agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is the fear of going out. You don't necessarily fear going out because people go to these places. You used to go to these places pre-anxiety. It is not these places that are making you fearful. It is the fear of what might happen. When you're at these places, you might faint, DPDR might occur, you might experience the thoughts that you don't like, you might go crazy, you might lose control. It is not the fear of these places. It is the fear of anxiety showing up. Anxiety, showing up its head when you're at these places. So one of the reasons why I was stuck with agoraphobia for 6 months. Guys, I'm telling you, 6 months, I couldn't go out. The only place that I could go is just going, into the washroom. And even that, sometimes I couldn't even, shower. I couldn't brush my teeth. Like, I was stuck in my house for 6 good months. I couldn't go out. And one of those reasons was the fear of throwing up. I just had this fear that, when I'm with people, I'm gonna vomit, anxiety is gonna show up and I'm gonna embarrass myself. I was not going to help myself. So if that's a fear that you're struggling with, make sure to watch this video up to the end, because I'm gonna tell you why you are experiencing that fear and how to be able to overcome that fear permanently. I was thin. Like, when I mean thin, I mean thin. I was thin when I was struggling with anxiety because I just couldn't stand the smell of food. I couldn't stand the sight of food. I fear that maybe if I eat and I get full, I was gonna throw up. But something that, after having learned about anxiety, something that now helped me overcome that fear is that, how many times did I ever throw up? If you're struggling with that fear, how many times have you ever thrown up? Even if you're struggling with the fear, it's the same as fear of fainting, How many times have you fainted? If you ask yourself that question, that fear will go down. So I used to ask myself, like, I fear throwing up, but I have never even vomited. It's just a fear. I went to the hospitals because I felt like, I'm here, I'm losing weight, I can't eat. So I was going to the hospital every time because I just needed even some pills to, help with my nausea. Even if I took those pills, they were not helping. I went to the hospital, every test was done, my body was scanned, nothing was being found. And by the way, I hope by the time you're watching this video, you have been to the hospitals, everything is clear. Just to clear that doubt, because I don't want to be talking to someone you think, like, I don't want you to self-diagnose yourself that you think you're struggling with anxiety without getting diagnosed by a professional. So I hope you have been to a professional and everything is clear and it's all anxiety. Throw it under the anxiety umbrella. So by the time you're watching me, I hope I'm talking to an anxiety sufferer, not someone who is thinking that they have anxiety, right? So after getting checked by a professional and nothing was being found, then I just said that, okay, this is anxiety. I found out that anxiety can cause nausea. You see, when you are we are going back to the fight or flight. When you're in the fight or flight mode, digestion is slower down. Blood is being moved away from the stomach to the heart, to the muscles, to the brain, because your brain believes there is this perceived threat that you need to fight. So when you need to fight a threat, when you need to fight, something, when you need to fight or flee from a threat, you need to be geared up. You need your muscles to be strong for you to be able to fight this particular threat. So at that time, digestion is not a priority. What is a priority is for you to either fight this threat or to flee this threat. So because blood is being moved away from the stomach, this one causes nausea. You feel like you can throw up. Food, the smell of food used to trigger me. I couldn't stand the sight of food. And when you're not eating, of course you're gonna lose weight. You see, the way understanding how anxiety works is very necessary for you to be able to overcome anxiety, because the way I've explained to you, if you're always doubting nausea, what if it's this, what if it's this big disease, what if it's this, now you know that it is a symptom of anxiety, and it is caused by your blood being moved away from the stomach to the emergency areas such as the muscles, the heart, the brain, for you to be able to fight this particular threat. So understanding is very key. Understanding, it's very key for you to be able to overcome anxiety and its symptoms. Nausea is very common with anxiety, and one of the mistakes, when you don't understand what is happening, one of the mistakes that most anxiety sufferers usually do is they try to find how to fix the nausea. They Google, avoid Google, stay away from Google when you're struggling with anxiety. I don't remember any time that I felt better after Googling my symptoms. I always felt worse, because Google is gonna tell you you're struggling with this big disease, you're struggling with this big disease, while the doctors say otherwise. The doctors are the professionals. They're the one who know that you're not struggling with anything else apart from anxiety. So avoid Google. So one mistake that most anxiety sufferers do is they try to fix the nausea. They take pills, they do what, any remedy to try and fix the nausea. And with that time, you're sending a wrong signal to the brain that really nausea is a threat to you, and that means you're fixing it. And that means, the cycle continues. You're refueling the cycle. More of the stress hormones, and more of the stress hormones activates the fight or flight. And when the fight or flight is activated, blood is moved away. So more nausea. You don't need to focus on, overcoming the nausea alone. When you overcome anxiety, when you focus on overcoming anxiety, nausea will go away as a consequence, because nausea is an offset of anxiety. So when you focus on overcoming anxiety, nausea will go away as a consequence. So if you're interested in overcoming these anxiety symptoms permanently, you are tired, you have struggled with anxiety for months, for years, and you say, you know what, I want to fasten my recovery. I don't want to figure all these things out on my own. Message me on this number. Use this number to WhatsApp me, or use this Gmail to reach out to me. I will guide you step by step. I will tell you why you're having the anxiety symptoms, how the body and mind works, how anxiety works, and what you need to do. A step by step. It's a 3-month mentorship, a step by step process on how to be able to overcome anxiety once and for all and permanently. If you are saying enough is enough, I don't want to deal with these anxiety symptoms anymore, I need someone who has gone through this to be able to take me by my hand step by step on how to be able to overcome these symptoms, use this number to message me, use this email to message me. Otherwise, if you've watched this video up to this point, make sure to share this video to other people who may need the value in this video. Subscribe. I already told you to subscribe. I know you have subscribed. And comment if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about. If nausea is a struggle for you, can you kindly comment down below? Otherwise, let's meet on the next video. Bye.